What's up, guys? This is Dan from Black Rocket, again coming at you live from my bedroom to kick off the second daily eSports Sembly open play session. So every day at 4 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be hosting gameplay sessions from our two esports apps, Sembly and Battle Royale. Yesterday, we tried to host Battle Royale. We had some technical difficulties, but we are figuring those out very, very well. So we're going to try it again tomorrow. So make sure to tune in for that if you missed out yesterday. And coming soon is going to be our third esports game, Rocket Kart Racers. We're encouraging anyone that's home and looking for something fun to do to come play together at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. You can participate in or watch one of our streams, play with your friends in private matches, or choose random public play as long as other Rocketeers are online. Always remember that our policy is safe, fun, learn in that order. And to keep everyone safe, we do not feature any chat elements in the games themselves. All interactions take place in the game through competition and emotes. So before we get started, I just wanted to mention that we have other online opportunities as well. So on blackrocket.com/online, you could check out some free and premium options. Our free options are going to be the virtual open houses and the open play sessions. Now, the virtual open houses are at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're actually going to have one tonight. So if you do want to tune in, it will be here on the YouTube channel live at 6:30 p.m. Now, the open play sessions, again, those are going to be every day at 4 p.m. Eastern. And the premium content, that's going to be more like our classes that we have over the summer. So we are going to be able to teach you live, coach you live. There's also some self-guided, like the virtual reality, and there's also some coaching sessions. And you can check that all out at blackrocket.com/online. Now, today we're going to be playing Sembly. So Sembly is really, really easy to set up because you could play it right in your browser. Now, in order to play Sembly, you have to head over to blackrocket.com/esports. And when you do that, you will see that we have our Sembly and Battle Royale games set up right here for you. Now, if you want to play Sembly, all you have to do is go to Sembly and then press play now. And this is going to bring up the Sembly app. It's going to load it in your browser. It takes a little bit to load. It does like basically say it's finished loading, but it does take a couple seconds after it gets to that point. So we're just going to wait for this to load so you guys could all see, obviously, the magic happen in real time. And yeah, there we go. So right here, there's the Sembly login screen. You can either sign in or create an account. And I cheated and I already have an account and I'm already signed in. So we're just going to head right over to here. And today we're not going to be doing gem race like we did before. We're actually going to be playing the normal matches. Now, the difference between gem race and the normal matches is when gem race is only one game and you both kind of make a map together. The normal ones are kind of split, so each person makes a map. So in order to play a normal match, all you have to do is just go to play, and you could go to quick play or private match. Private match is if you want to play against friends. Quick play is if you just want to join a game. And now when this loads, you could just press normal match. This is draft items. You have to get the gems, and each person who collects the end gem the fastest on both levels will win. It takes the fastest one from each also. And then fast match is just like, if you, obviously it's pretty self-explanatory, if you want a faster game, faster pace. So I'm going to be spectating some great matches for you and commentating on them. And you guys are going to be able to hop in. Eventually, we're going to put the room codes in. And also, once the room code does go live, you will be able to vote on the events that happen in the game. So in order to do that, you just go to spectate, vote, and then you will be able to vote. So we're going to hop into our first match right here. And the room code is going to be BFQT. So if you do want to hop in and vote on this one, you can feel free to do that. And it looks like, yes, here we go. So our map is going to be Toxic Night. You don't really have to pick your map, how it goes in Gem Race. This one kind of picks it for you. And each players kind of get the same items also. So that kind of makes it cool because you get to see how each person constructs their own map compared to the other person because again, they place their items on a different map and not the same one. So far we have the rock, and now that's kind of like a thwomp would be in Mario, kind of just drops down on you. We also have the switch block, so that obviously you hit it and then you could pass through it. Or it takes some time for you to pass through it. Now, this one is going to be either the vacuum or the pusher. Now, this is the fan, so this pushes you away, while the other one kind of sucks you up and can also eliminate you and send you back to the beginning. And now we get a random one for the last one, but this is going to be a flamethrower. So once it starts shooting the flames, you can't pass through it. But when it's smoking like that, you are able to pass through it. And then we also have the cannon, which we did see a lot in our first open play session. A lot of people using that in order to get to the gems quicker. So now we're going to enter the build phase. The build phase is a little bit longer than the gem race one also. And that's just because each person does build their own map. Now, people actually do vote in on that last item. It's not completely randomly selected. We do like to have a lot of spectator options when you are watching, so voting on the item is one of those. Now, we can actually switch between the two maps right here. So as you can see, they are different. There's going to be player one's map, and there's going to be player two's map. Now, I believe all the gems are going to be the same, and you have to get all the gems and then get the end gem in order to win. So basically, you know where the gems are going to be. You could set up your items in order to account for that. And it makes it really competitive because the maps are completely the same. So it really gives an edge to whoever does make their map. But also, if you're able to adjust to the other person's map quicker than they are able to adjust to your map, you can also come up with the victory. And as I did mention the first day we played, you also do get a hammer, which can break the items. So if you are having trouble with something, or someone thinks they're slick and puts a bunch of invisible blocks, you are actually able to break those and get through. You can only do it, I believe, 1 or 2 times, though, each match. So you can't abuse it at all or take too much of an advantage of it. However, it does really provide an advantage if you use it the correct way. So again, we're seeing a lot of switch blocks being used, which is always a good strategy, kind of blocking off the gems because it could handicap the other person. See a lot of cannons at the top for player two. I wonder what their strategy is going to be with that. Maybe if they're going for that gem up top, they can shoot back down to get another one very quickly. Or it could just be to trap the other player because if you do get in the cannon, you do the full rotation. So if you just try to get out, try to jump out of it too quickly, you may end up being catapulted in the wrong direction. Now, the build phase is coming to a close. We have about 30 seconds left. There's still a lot of items that could be placed now, but it seems like both players are going to be taking a more passive approach, especially player one has hardly even used any items. So they may just be relying on their quick movement alone in order to capture those gems. Again, we're just going to keep taking a closer look at these two maps. This is going to be player one's map, which again is pretty barren compared to player two's map, which has a lot of stuff, especially by that end gem. So we're going to see how that comes into play. And yeah, we are going to kick this off. We are starting on player one's map. It looks like player one is going to be purple, while player two is going to be blue. Player two already off to a very, very quick start, capturing 2 gems in quick succession. And it looks like they also did jump off in order to get sent back to the beginning so they could get that gem on the top. While we are tied right now with purple needing to get the one at the top, blue needing to get the one at the end. I player two is able to come out with the victory by having very strategically getting the last gem towards the end gem so they could just jump right back into it. And now we're going to hop into player two's map, which again has a lot more stuff. And as you can see, if you do get the gem first, you get a little bit more points for that. So player one, who needs to be able to make a comeback right now, it's very important for them to get these before player two. Now player two is able to squeeze into that the switch blocks, and they're also able to get another gem right there. We do have our first event coming in, lights out, and we already see player one has all 4 gems, and they are able to come out with the victory. Now, as you can see, they had, I believe, 3 more gems because player 2 only had 2 gems at that time. So they were able to make a big comeback on that second map and able to take that victory. Now, we are again going to hop into a different match. We just have to wait on the room code, and then we're going to get right on into it again. And hopefully this time we do see some different items come out, because there is a limit. As you know, there was only a 5 item limit right there, as opposed to gem race where each person gets 5. But the items are very important. The levels that you make is also very important if you can win or you can lose. It looked like they actually swapped winning their levels. Player 1 won level 2's level. I mean, player 2's level, and player 2 won player 1's level. So we're going to hop right into the game right now. Now the room code is going to be PCYC. So if you do want to vote on that, you can always join PCYC to vote on the final item and also the events that go on during the matches. So this one's actually live in the build phase. This is actually going to be a fast match. So fast matches give you the items. There's no draft, and you just hop right into a build. And as you see here, we are hopping straight into a build. And now player 1 and player 2, again, both make their maps. However, you don't have a lot of time to really think about it. So you have to be very quick on your toes with what you want to do when you do see that gem. Now there is only the 1 gem at the end, so you really gotta prepare for that, and you really gotta be quick with your movement as well. Now we have player 1 is the purple, while player 2, it looks like, is the brown. Hard to tell, but we do see player 2 very quickly getting that gem. And we're going to see who's able to pull it off here. This is just like a very quick obstacle course, it does seem. We have the brown going low while purple is going high. Brown is in the lead, so they should be able to cap this one off. And they do. So player 2 is able to get the victory right there by getting both gems first. So that is great for player 2. Congrats to player 2 for winning the fast match. That's our first fast match that we have played on stream so far today. And now we're also going to showcase the gem race, which was our main event on Monday when we did our first Sembly stream. And gem race is, again, both players draft, and then they put their items on the same map. So that one is really intense because the map ends up getting filled a lot with a lot of different items. So those ones get pretty crazy. And it's also fun to vote on those because usually like 2 events can happen in the same match, and the maps are usually also a lot bigger. So it is pretty fun to watch. I can't imagine how it is to play because there are a lot of items. I have played Gem Race before, but if you are very, very good at Sembly, then the maps can get pretty crazy and pretty frustrating as well. Now, our room code is going to be MLWJ. So if you do again want to vote on the events, you can't vote on items in Gem Race, but you can vote on the events. So if you do want to vote on the events, again, spectate, vote, and then type in the room code MLWJ. And let's see what maps our players select. We have player 2 selecting Pipe Jungle. And again, the maps are selected randomly. So each one picks one and it just picks whoever. So that could also come into play depending on if they're preparing for the map that they picked or if they're preparing for worst case scenario. Now we see everyone picking their item very quickly. We have the crack block, the invisible block, the spring, spikes, and that one is going to be the vacuum. We also have the one-way block, which again could get pretty tricky with either trapping someone or really trapping someone with by a gem. If you are able to do that, it could frustrate the other person a lot if they fall victim to that. So we are going to see our players building now. This one is a 2-minute phase, so it is shorter than the normal. However, it again gets pretty wild considering both players are building at the same time on the same map. And you also have to prepare for a lot of different scenarios as the gems can spawn randomly at any of these locations. As you can see, they're all over the place. So you really never know. And that could lead to either longer matches or shorter matches, depending if someone gets really lucky with a lot of good spawns. So it does add a big random factor that you could use to your advantage and turn it into a bonus for you if you're able to prepare for that. Now you see both players using almost half of their items so far in the first minute. Player 1 using a little bit more than player 2. Player 2 may be thinking a little bit more, or they may be taking a passive approach, as we have seen in past matches, where one person wouldn't put a lot of stuff down because they don't want to block off their own chances and they're confident in their own abilities to maneuver their way through the map on their own. Now we are coming around to about 35 seconds left, and yeah, they it looks like they may even max out their items. So you do see a lot of items being played, a lot of spikes. Spikes are a pretty big fan favorite because one mistake and you get sent back to the beginning. Or also if you do put them near a gem, you can get the gem, and if the next gem spawns in where you spawn in, you could jump into the spike and get sent back to the beginning. Now we are coming down to about 5 seconds left. We're actually going to hop right in right here. So we're going to see how these players fare with one another. We're going to see where the first gem spawns in also. That's usually a very important part, really. Kind of determines the pace of the game. Seems like we do have some sort of error right here. We do have a black screen in this lobby. So we're going to have to figure out what happened here. Or maybe this is just the infinite lights out event. As we see, player 2, I guess they are able to play, so that is good. So we could do some blind commentary right now. Player 2 is able to get the first gem. Now we're gonna see who's able to pull this off. I wonder if they could see, because if player 2 was able to get a gem without seeing, that would be very, very impressive. So it seems as though they actually were not able to see. So we're gonna just cut this. We're gonna do a little be right back, try to find out the issue to this, and then we're gonna hop right back into another game. But it should just take a couple minutes, maybe. So I'll be right back with you guys. All right, so that does seem like it was just a random crazy bug that happened out of the blue. So we're gonna hop right back into another gem race. The room code is gonna be WDUV. So if you do want to again vote on that, you go to spectate, vote, and then type in the room code WDUV. Now this is an open play, so if you do want to hop in for a quick game, you could by going to private match, typing in the room code WDUV, and I will be casting your game live on the stream. So if you are interested in doing that, feel free. We do have one of our experts in the room, so it could be pretty challenging, but we will see who's able to pull it off. Just gonna give it a few seconds. Someone will most likely join pretty soon. So while we are again waiting, we have entered the draft phase. However, if you do want to check out some other content, you could always go to the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/BRP clips. You are probably already there if you are able to watch this live stream. So if you do want to watch some videos while you're not doing anything at home or after you finished all your online classwork, you could always check out our content. We got a lot of video game reviews for very fun games that you could play. Also some new games. We also have some tutorials on some things. We're going to be putting out some Animal Crossing tutorials pretty soon. So if you did pick up Animal Crossing, great game. If you didn't pick it up yet, I recommend it. So as you see, player one has selected everything, while player two has may just be going luck of the draw right here. Maybe they don't really know what they want, and they're just gonna let it pick for them. But they did select the map, Toxic Knight. Oh, and it looks like player two probably did leave the match. So luckily, I still get my experience, so that's always good. But we are gonna have to hop into another game real quick. Player two may have had some internet problems or what. We're gonna hop right back into another game. No worries. This one's very, very quick to set up, so it's really nice. And our room code is gonna be VOGM. Now, again, open play session. So if you do want to join, you just go to private match and then type in the room code VOGM. And it looks like someone was able to hop in. Now, hopefully, oh, it does look like both players are selecting, so it looks like they are both connected. Very good, very good. Now we see both people using the falling block as well as that's the only similarity. So this is going to be a pretty diverse match with a lot of different items. I hope they definitely use them to their full capacity right here. Player two has to still select the map, and then once they do that, we should be on the way. However, even if they don't, it does select a random map for you. So they pick Toxic Knight, but we did get Smog Factory, which is a pretty balanced map, I would say. Um, yeah, the gems shouldn't be spawned too. It does look like they could be spawned pretty close together. However, you could put a lot of items around to trap the gems in or make it difficult to get from one to another. Now, we're going to see how this fills up very soonly. It looks like they are already getting going with a lot of spikes and a lot of different obstacles. Now, they didn't really go for a lot of they do have some blocks, but they also have the bat, which is one of the most annoying items in the game. Could get very hard to really try to maneuver through those because they do go very quickly. You see, player two is taking a very, very aggressive approach on a lot of different gems, putting a lot of spikes near them, while also trapping some in. So they really want whoever gets those gems to be sent right back to the beginning. While player one, it seems, is taking a more passive approach with the robots, but also putting some cannons for some better maneuverability. Player 2, it also looks like almost maxed out their item bar, while player 1 still only has about halfway. Let's see if they do fill that up and take a little bit more of an aggressive approach. Now, something interesting that they did do is right down here, they put the spring on the wall. So this makes it so you can't wall jump up, but you could also jump into the spring in order to get sent back. So it could be useful if you know how to use it. However, if you don't know how to use it, it could be very frustrating if you are, again, trying to wall jump up. See, they also put a lot of the rock blocks, which do act similar to a thwomp, above a lot of the gems or very close to the gems. So maybe it could get them before they actually do get to that gem. Now we're going to hop into this game. It's a pretty flooded map here, and it's also pretty small. So this is going to be a very interesting race. There's also someone also put the bat at the beginning, so that could get very frustrating later on. It looks like player 1 is red while player 2 is blue. It got pretty complicated. However, that first gem is going to be towards the bottom right corner of the map. We see player 2 is making their way over. However, they did fall. They are wall jumping back up. Now, they really got to get there quickly, and they do, which is very good, because if they didn't get there in time, the gem would have actually spawned somewhere different. And now that second gem is going to be on the other side of the map. We have our first event coming in, which is rotate, which could make it, again, very difficult to maneuver through, especially with all the obstacles that have been placed. Let's see what our players are doing. Player 1 is trying to get there. Player 2, it looks like they are stuck at the bottom. You really got to be able to wall jump up in order to get out of that situation. Now, player 1 is really, really feeding into this bat right now. I can only imagine how frustrated they are getting. Oh my goodness. I hope they weren't the one who put that. Now, player 2 is still stuck down here. They really got to wall jump out in order to get back up. While player 1, it seems, is going to wait out the lights out in order to make it to this gem. However, they do get stuck by the robot. And again, they are in the midst of the bat's claws here. Now, that you could also press R. So player 2 who is having trouble right now, if they aren't able to wall jump up, you could press R, and that will tactically reset you back to the beginning. And they are able to pull that off. So that's very good. Now, player 1 also gets sent back to the beginning, and it looks like our third gem is not going to be even able to get found. So that was after the respawn. So player 2 is able to pull out the victory after only getting that first gem. So that map was incredibly difficult, but they were still able to pull out. So we're going to try something different. We're going to try to jump into a room that's already running. So this is going to be you guys, your quick play rooms. So we're going to just try to hop in there, see if this works. This is a brand new feature for us. So we are able to get in. Room code is HXHI. So if you are able to hop in, select spectate and then go to vote, it's HXHI. Now this one looks like it's going to be the normal game mode. So again we have the gems that are going to be spawned in the same way on both maps. We're going to see the different approach that our players take. Now this is going to be you guys. This is you guys playing. This is not us at all. So 2 lucky viewers were able to get featured on the stream. So hopefully you guys are watching and you are able to see this. If not, you could always check out the stream replays at youtube.com/BRP clips. Which again, you are already there. So it's very easy to check that out and remember it. Now, we don't have a lot of items being placed so far. It looks like our players are going to be taking a very strategic look at the map before they place their items down, because placing an item down prematurely could also cause you to kind of block yourself off from gems or make it harder for yourself to really maneuver your way through the map. Now, this looks like player two is placing a lot of blocks. Their map is very top heavy right now. Those invisible blocks are going to be a big pain to get through if you don't know where they are. So they better make sure that they remember, or else they may get stuck on that area. So we are at about the halfway point in building, a little bit further than halfway. And again, we do have player two again having a very more aggressive approach towards the top than the bottom. It looks like they're starting to get started on the bottom right now. Player one has hardly even placed anything down. So we're gonna see, but it looks like the things that they did put down are focused on the gems themselves instead of making it an obstacle to get to the gem. They're making it an obstacle to get the gem once you're already there. And again, the only way that you could get some of these gems is going to be with the hammer. So again, the hammer can help you. As you can see, the first gem right here is covered with spikes. So if you're not able to get it, you may want to use the hammer to break those spikes. This one up here, again, very hard to get with the moving blocks. You may want to use the hammer there. This one again, spikes, and we have a pretty big wall with a lot of spikes here. So you may even want to use the hammer before you even get to the wall, just because it could prevent you. But also in normal, the hammer only works on the opposite player's level. So you could trap yourself in and not be able to use the hammer while your opponent is able to use the hammer on your level. So that is something that you do have to think about. So our two players playing are going to be Dark Eyes King and Gamer 867. So shout out to you guys for being on the live stream. Again, it does seem like we are going to have some trial and error getting that first gem, but player two is able to pull it out. Let's see where they go next. Player one is also able to get it. However, they did get sent back to the spawn. And here it looks like both players are going to try to get that gem on the bottom, which they may give up. We have our first event, which is Quake, makes the room shake. Yeah, it does look like they both gave up on that gem, and they're going to take their talents elsewhere. The one at the top seems like it is going to be pretty feasible. Our player one is able to get that gem surrounded by the spike and the invisible block, but they did get sent back to spawn. However, it does look like they're going to look for that upper gem, which they should be able to get. Player two is really taking their time with this. They don't want to mess this up. Slow mo could give them the advantage here, which it does. Which it does. Slow mo, so it took a while to come in. However, player one was also able to get that gem at the top, so they pull out. They have a little bit of a time lead right now. Now, if player two does want to make a comeback, it looks like that bottom gem is going to be impossible to get for this one. However, if player two does want to make a comeback, they will be a little bit behind, but if they are able to quickly get to that upper gem, they could gain a little bit of traction back. However, they aren't going to be able to do that. So player one is going to be able to pull out victory on the first map. Let's see if player two is going to be able to make a big comeback on their map here. So there we have player one taking the first gem, player two not far behind. See where our players are going to go. Now, player two, it looks like they are trying to get the upper gems again. However, this is the map with all those invisible blocks, so it's going to be very challenging to get there. Meanwhile, player one was already able to get two gems. Now, it looked like player two fell off the map, so they were sent back to the beginning. And now, player one, where are they going? Now, player two was able to get another gem. However, player one was also able to get another gem. We have our next event, Lights Out. Player two needing to come back, needing to make a big comeback right here. They're going to have to get all three gems in order to pull off this one. So we're going to see if they are able to do that. However, player one, if they are able to maneuver through these invisible blocks, they should be able to ice the victory. Now it looks like they are having some trouble. However, player two also seems to be having a little bit of trouble getting the last gems. So player one is able to pull out victory on both maps, which does lead to a big win right there. So we got another match to get into right now. We got another couple viewers. So this one is going to be a gem race. This isn't going to be a normal one. That was a normal game. The gem race again is the big crazy. Now this one is going to be FJDQ. So if you do want to vote on the events that happened during this match, make sure to go to spectate, vote FJDQ. Now it looks as though there's only one player in this one right now. So if you do want to join in, just make sure to go to private match and then type in the room code FJDQ. This is a gem race also, so you do have to press gem race. I believe you also could just put the room code in when you go to private match and you want to join one because you're not posting it yourself. So yeah, you just go to private match, join, and type in the room code FJDQ. We're gonna wait a little bit. Um, Someone's probably gonna join pretty soon. It looks like we got a lot of people on right now. And again, this is Gem Race. Gem Race is probably my personal favorite mode just because it does get pretty hectic. And there's also a lot of diversity in the items again. That's probably the best part. So we have found a player two, so we're gonna get started on the draft phase right now. Oh, player two already selecting all five of their items very quickly. While player one, it does seem, is taking a little bit longer. It looks like player two is a pro. They already know what they're gonna pick. Oh, player one also. They're just oh my goodness. I don't know if that was a little bit of lag or if they just pressed all those buttons that quickly, but wow, that was amazing. So both players did already select the map and their items. We're gonna see what map we get, either Rat Maze or Sidewalk Hustle. Sidewalk Hustle is probably going to be my least favorite map just because it is so wide that it could just it tends to be slower and less action packed than um, maps like this where we do have um, a lot more verticality instead of just being very horizontal. Now we're going to see what these players tend to do. Again, we do have the bat coming out. The bat proved to be a lot of trouble in that last game we played when it was placed at the spawn. So we're going to find out what happens here. Now, player two, again, does seem like they do have the edge in what they want to accomplish as they have placed more of their items down. Now, it looks like we have a weird mix of invisible blocks over here. Player two placed one invisible block down, and then player one is just absolutely smothering it in their own invisible blocks. So we're gonna see how that works. Hopefully, player two does see that and doesn't just suspect that it'll be their own block. However, it does come up actually for a split second. You just have to be able to remember it. Player one, it looks like is really just focusing all their resources towards that one gem. They got a couple sticky blocks on, a couple springs. They also have a flamethrower over here. Not sure what they plan to accomplish with that one. I guess if someone's able to get that top right gem and tries to jump down, that could be troublesome. However, maybe they're listening to me because they did move it, so they are taking some advice there. But yeah, that middle gem is going to prove to be very difficult. I really hope that that one does come up because it's going to be very interesting to see our two players maneuver through all those blocks. And we're going to get started in about 5 seconds. Both players almost maxing out their player one may have maxed out theirs, but player two almost maxing out their item potential. So we are in. We're going to see where this first gem is. Now, those invisible blocks are going to prove to be very difficult to maneuver through. We do have our first gem is going to be actually in the invisible block area. Now, is that going to be player one or player two? That is player one able to get to that gem. So they must be feeling pretty good about that one after they absolutely smothered it. Now, they actually had two gems so far. The third gem is going to be in that top right corner. And it looks like they're going to have to be able to maneuver through those invisible blocks again in order to gain some momentum here. While player two, it looks like, is going to try to break those falling blocks. And it looked like that bat was actually able to scare off our player one from getting that gem because they did get there first. However, they did have to wait that bat out. Now, they did get a good spawn, and they do have another really good spawn right here. So it looks like they are going to be able to pull out the victory, and they do. So while they weren't able to get that third gem, they were able to get the first two and then pull off a quick another two right after that in order to secure the victory. So congratulations to our player one. And now it looks like we're going to hop into another live match. Let's see what we could do here. Now, this room is going to be BRHO. So we're going to hop in. We're going to see if this one's still going on. This is going to be a live match. So it does not look as though that one is still going on. That was probably a past game that was played. So we're gonna keep looking for some codes. So if you guys are playing a game, there is a chance that we will hop into it, or we may host one in order for you guys to join and play with us. So we're gonna hop into one more game. We're gonna get a room code real quick for you guys. We're gonna try another open play game. It doesn't look like this one is working also, so that probably already wrapped up. So you may have to run a lobby where one of you guys can join, but we're gonna get a room code real quick for you guys. Now, our room code for this one is going to be URAR. So if you do want to join, this is going to be an open play. So just go to private, join, and then type in the room code URAR. Or if you don't feel like playing and you want to vote on the events, you can always check out spectate, vote, and then type in the room code URAR. Now we're just going to wait for this lobby to fill out. It looks like we do already have one person in here, so we're just waiting on one more. So we're just going to give it a couple more seconds. Someone's probably going to join very quickly, and then get the show on the road. Now, again, just to reiterate, we're going to have a virtual open house today at 6:30 p.m. on this same website, youtube.com/BRP clips. It's going to be live streamed, virtual open house. I believe today is going to be Roblox Makers, as well as one other class. Which is the Minecraft Redstone is also going to be today. So we're going to be showcasing those two classes that are going to be given over the summer. So make sure to check those out because they're going to be very interesting. And also go to blackrocket.com/online to check out either we plug the virtual open houses as well as our open play sessions on that website, but we also have the premium content there. So if you are bored, you want to learn some cool stuff, you can always sign up for that. And then again, our games are going to be Sembly and the Battle Royale. So go to blackrocket.com/esports in order to get those two. Tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be running the Battle Royale again. So we're going to see how that goes. It should be smooth, but we will be trying to run it again tomorrow. Now, it does look like someone disconnected. So we're going to hop into another lobby. I already have a room code for you guys. So there we go. We are in a room code. This one looks like it's already going on. So this is room code RCIF. Now here it looks like we do have normal. So if you want to vote on the events that happen, the room code is going to be RCIF. Now it looks like both players aren't really putting a lot of stuff down. We do see, I believe that is the vacuum being used. So if you want that gem, you will probably get sent back to the beginning. All right, that seems to be all that's really going on right now. Maybe our players are thinking about their approach that they want. Player two maybe won't put down anything and will just try to race through their level as quick as possible. We'll find out. Player one's putting some spikes around. However, both players are really very, very passive here. Player one is going to make their level nearly impossible with that little robot army going on down there. It's going to be very tough to get that one. See if we're going to have them on there to see if they put anything else around there. And again, it looks like player one is focusing on blocking off the gems themselves and not really worrying about making it difficult to get there. So again, thank you to our two participants in this game right here. We have Gamer 867 and RPG Slime. Player one is Gamer 867 and player two is RPG Slime. So we're gonna see who's able to pull out victory right here. I hope player two is here because they're not putting anything at all down. So I don't know if that's part of their strategy or if they don't know how to put items down or what's going on over there. But we're gonna find out pretty soon. So again, we do have player one. Oof, they are still putting some items down around those gems. Those are going to be very, very difficult to get to. Now, they also put some hidden spikes down. I don't know if you can see them. I don't want to point them out in case player two is watching. I don't want to give away the secrets of player one's level. However, it does look like their level is going to be very difficult compared to player two. Here's player two's level, and there's player one's level. So you can see the difference there. Player two not putting down anything. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if that pays off for them. Now, player two surprisingly was there. That was just part of their strategy, and they also were able to get a quick lead right here on player one's level, actually. So we're gonna zoom out. We're gonna see what happens here. Player one's able to pick up a gem. Player two is able to get their second gem very quickly after. Now they actually were bamboozled by one of those hidden spike traps over there, but it looks like they are starting to get an idea of where they are. However, they were sent down. Again, if you do get stuck at the bottom or anywhere, you could press R to tactically reset. Both players are waiting out the lights out event. And now we're going to get back into the action. Now, player two, it seems, was sent back to the beginning. Maybe they do want to take the high road on this one. However, they still do have the lead, so the pressure is not on them too much yet. And again, as it takes you more time to get the gems, it actually does give you less points. So player one is going to have to get some more gems than player two if they do want to have a chance at coming back in the second map. We just had the rotate event right there. That again, it does look like the players did wait out. Player two is looking to get that one in the top right corner, it looks like. Or maybe the bottom right corner, and I think they will be able to pull that off. And again, you see there was so little time left that they only got 85 points for that, as opposed to getting like the 800 that they did at the beginning. However, player two, we are not heading into player two's map, which is completely deserted. So this could be good for them because it doesn't really give either player really a challenge. So yeah, as you can see, we are this is going to be a very fast game. Both players having 2 gems. Now that hole that player one fell in is probably the difficult one. Yeah, they did end up going for the tactical reset by pressing R. However, player two was able to jump out of that, which gives them an advantage because I believe the last gem that they need before the big one is going to be right up there. Player one is able to come back slightly. Player two looks like made a little bit of a miscalculation on their wall jump. Now, player one could get to that last gem and then get the big gem, but is it going to be enough? That's the big thing. Both players need to get back to that big gem. While it looks like player two is going to be the first one to get there, and they are able to come out with the victory. Pretty big victory. I was very surprised that they did go for the approach of not putting anything down, but good for them because their strategy ended up working out for them. Now, that is actually going to wrap us up for the day. That was a very great Sembly stream. Thank you guys for tuning in and playing. We were able to hop into a lot of different rooms and we had a lot of different people playing. Now, again, if you do want, you can check us out, blackrocket.com/online for a little bit more content. We have the open house today at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to be showcasing Roblox Makers along with Minecraft Redstone. Minecraft Redstone is a new class, while Roblox Makers was a new one we had last summer. And again, we do have the premium content here. Tomorrow, we're going to be running a Battle Royale stream again. We did yesterday. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. However, we got those all straightened out. So tomorrow, it should be running completely smooth for everyone's first time playing Battle Royale during this open play session. So again, thank you guys all for tuning in. I hope you guys all have a great day. And make sure to tune in to the open house today at 6:30 if you are interested. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.